Imagine taking a team to the Champions League final, standing on the precipice of immortality, only to find yourself jobless just months later. For nearly a decade, one of London's biggest clubs has been trapped in a cycle of revolving door leadership, so chaotic it has been traced back to a single transfer window 8 seasons ago. Tonight, we're pulling the thread on the 7 chaotic sackings and departures that turned a European powerhouse into a cautionary tale of mid-season panic and broken systems. The descent truly began with the man who built the peak. In November 2019, just 6 months after leading Spurs to the Champions League final, Mauricio Pochettino was sacked with the club sitting 14th in the Premier League. In November 2019, just 6 months after leading Spurs to the Champions League final, Mauricio Pochettino was sacked with the club sitting 14th in the Premier League. The board was extremely reluctant to pull the trigger, but the squad had entered a state of gradual deterioration. The real chaos wasn't the sacking itself, it was the circumstances. Spurs had gone 3 consecutive transfer windows without signing a single player to replenish a thinning squad, leaving Pochettino to try and move the needle with a team that had run out of steam. This was the first domino to fall, and it set a precedent. When things get tough, don't fix the recruitment, fire the coach. Spurs then turned to an experienced winner to turn Pochettino's work into trophies, but they ended up with one of the most bizarre sackings in modern history. Jose Mourinho was dismissed just days before a major cup final. Mourinho later noted that the stadium was empty due to the pandemic, and he felt the chairman never truly let him win that final. The logic was baffling. Hire a trophy-winning specialist, then fire him before the actual trophy game. It signalled a club hierarchy that was reacting to waning momentum rather than sticking to a long-term plan. The chaos accelerated with Nuno Espirito Santo. Described retrospectively as a brief Nuno cameo, his defensive style wore thin with fans and players almost immediately. He was brought in to provide stability but was gone before he could even finish his first half-season. By now, the recruitment strategy had become a desperate catch-up game, signing peak-age players like Ivan Perisic on high wages to satisfy short-term demands. If there was a point of no return, it was the Antonio Conte era. After throwing away a lead against the bottom of the league, Conte entered the press room and torched the entire organisation. He declared that for 20 years under the same ownership, the club had never won anything, asking why the fault always fell on the manager. He was sacked shortly after this public explosion. His tenure was a symptom of the club's misunderstanding, the belief that they were just one experienced coach away from the summit when the foundation was actually crumbling. Perhaps the most seismic departure wasn't a coach at all. In September 2025, Executive Chairman Daniel Levy was sacked. While he was a central protagonist in the club's downfall, his departure didn't solve the core issues. It only revealed how deep the chasm in the squad's ability had become. By 2026, the club was in a full-blown crisis. Thomas Frank was brought in to stabilise a depleted squad, but he was sacked in February after managing just 26 Premier League matches. He left the club in 16th place, mired in a relegation battle. Frank had tried to implement a clear number 6 profile by signing João Palhinha, but the team's lack of passing ability meant even a world-class tackler couldn't save them. The 7th and most frantic move came just a month later. Interim head coach Igor Tudor was sacked on March 29, 2026, after overseeing a disastrous run of 5 losses and only 1 win in just 7 games. This was the ultimate realisation of the panic. A coach fired before he had even settled into his interim role. The lesson here is clear. Chaos at the top is a virus. You can fire 7 different leaders, but if you don't address the missteps in recruitment and the deterioration of the squad, you're just rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. Tottenham's downfall wasn't caused by one bad coach. It was caused by 8 seasons of playing catch-up after failing to replenish a winning team. What do you think is the most chaotic sacking in football history? Was it Mourinho before the final or the interim sacking of Igor Tudor? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the politics and peculiarities of the beautiful game.